This will be a big one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're closer than ever to getting the 147.21 repeater down at Newcastle up. The owner will be down here Monday and has agreed to climb the tower and to help us put the antennas up. So we have some limiting factors. We've decided to mount the antennas. We're going to put two up, a UHF and a VHF, DB Products, Andrews type commercial antennas. And in a separate run for each one up to the corners of the tower. So what we're going to do is take two 10-foot pieces of 2-inch or maybe inch and 3/4 cold water pipe, and we're going to clamp that to the verticals between the uppermost part of the tower and the work platform that's just below that. There's looks like about a 3.5 to 4-inch tube that goes between each one of those corners. And then once that's done, we'll leave about 3 foot, maybe 4 foot above the tower, and then the antennas will be clamped to that. Now, we have a couple of limitations. One is that our clamps will only go to like 3.5 inches and possibly 4 without modification. So we're banking on that being workable. If not, we'll have to fabricate or try to locate larger clamps. And so if any of you have those and know what I'm talking about, they're Andrew clamps for mounting commercial antennas. So do get in contact with me if you have anything like that or know somebody who does. The other thing is that would be great when we pull the trigger on this is a real deal gin pole. If anybody knows of somebody who has one that we can rent, borrow, but it has to be one that can be clamped onto a 2-inch pipe to make it workable. The ones that a lot of guys fabricate or make are the ones with the hooks on them for working on Ron Tower. Those cannot be worked. That won't do it. So I guess if push comes to shove, we could even fabricate one, but we don't want to go down that street if we don't have to. Dwayne and Don and I were down near the. Yes, sir.
Don't we have some gin poles in the trailer that are never used?
I don't know of one, but if somebody could look at it, ask Hal to go take a look. That'd be marvelous news if we did.
I think if we have them.
Yeah, there used to be. I'm sorry, back.
I'm talking about a clamp on, the one that has like the 2 pieces of angle iron that come together and you clamp it on the tower legs, not the kind with the forks.
I don't
Okay.
remember.
All right, we'll take a look at that. That's a good point. Thank you.
They clamp onto that.
So we were down last Thursday, I think it was, and we racked up the repeater, the 2-1 repeater, which is a brand new Yaesu DR2X, and we also hooked up the repeater that Dwayne and I bought, D-Star. So that'll be on 144.3.
444.
I'm sorry, 444.3. And so that'll be workable. And just like our Fusion repeater on 443.275, you can work FM on it or you can work D-Star. So we hope to have that up before too much longer. So you're going to have 2 new repeaters that'll be pretty darn good. That site has a clear visibility, and with the antennas up there, I think it'll really give us good coverage. But if you want coverage, the best we got right now is our 443.275 UHF repeater. Has phenomenal coverage all through the metro. So you guys might try that. What have I missed? So the tower owner is going to be here Monday evening or sometime, late afternoon, early evening. We're going to do some preliminary kick-arounds and brief him on what our plan is. And Tuesday morning will be a work morning, but that morning will primarily be to help him put up additional security cameras and wire the doors for alarms and get the alarm system working. And we have another fella who we've known for a long time, that Dwayne and I used to work with, recently got his climbing certificate, and he's willing to assist with it now. So we went from famine to feast here. So looks like we have everything that can be done once we overcome the obstacles of the cable clamps and The other thing, we have some more money to send, and that's gonna be the pipe and maybe additional clamps and probably a spool of number 12 solid wire, and that's to connect the coax down the sides of the tower. That's the best ways of doing that. Yes, sir.
Do you need a motion to appropriate more funds? If so, I so move up to,
Well, let's do this, if we can get a kind of a tacit agreement. We still have about $400, $300, I think, available in the fund for this project. We're gonna probably exceed that or come very close to it, but I don't see any huge expenses. You know, the pipes, $30, $40 each, probably 50, 60 for the wire. And Sam, when he gets back in town, who's at the Hamfest in Huntsville right now, lucky scamp, we'll be acquiring that stuff, and we'll be good to go with that before the owner comes back. Probably 5-6 days later, after he leaves on Tuesday. So we're looking at next weekend or maybe the following Monday. So what I'm going to do is ask for some volunteers, to man wires and run stuff up the ladder. And we want you to bring a hard hat if you're going to be down there. Not a hard head, a hard hat. And these, believe it or not, are very inexpensive. I was surprised. You can get one for $10, $20, $30. And I guess you want to gauge that on the value of your cranium. But a nut or a wrench or a bolt falling down from a tower can ruin your day. And we don't want that to happen.
Also the Arden connection, speak about that.
Oh yeah, we also installed the Arden node. How many of you know about Arden and have seen it? Anybody?
Yep.
Couple. Boy, we need to do that again. So we put up an Arden node down there. So what that does is gives us another method by which we can hook up a PC or a sensor down there. We can do and remotely control things, and it gives us a method of getting on site. So it's a network that's up all the time.
It's tunneled to my house.
Yeah, right now it's tunneled over the owner's newly established Wi-Fi. So that's working. We just don't want to put a high bandwidth application on it just yet. And we should have an RF link next week into Norman, the west side of Norman, and that will be our way up to the big network. And ideally, we can throw high bandwidth applications at that. So, any questions about the project?
what time?
Early, dark 30, because
Have
the
you worked on the
temperature.
weather plan for this?
Pardon?
Weather plan, you get cool weather?
That's the only time we get the cool weather. So it will be cooler next Monday and Tuesday, but still hot enough. Plus the owner has a requirement to leave maybe around lunchtime or just after lunchtime on Tuesday. So Tuesday's the day to help him out. And like I said, and I will post a requirement for the following week or 7 days later. And that'll be the real work day. By then, we hope to have measured the size of the pipe we need and acquired or built the clamps we need. Anything else? Now, since we talked about aurora and propagation, Dwayne and I have been making a lot of contacts on meteor scatter. And it's out there, it's easy to do. And if you have WSJTX and a radio that you can put on 6 meters, you worked more than I did. How many did you work?
20 or 30.
But it's there, and it's surprising. You can watch it on the screen, it's nice and quiet, and all of a sudden you hear this psh, screen lights up, and you start hearing stations from all over. But believe it or not, the military uses tropospheric scatter. There's always a bunch of rocks up there floating around with vapor trails that are ionized, and that's what we communicate with. It's a fascinating way to make contacts. Any questions?
Troposcatter also works on 10 meters.
The what?
Also works on 10.
Also
Yeah,
works
yes.
on 10.
Yeah, but mainly it's 6 meters, and it'll automatically put you over 50.260, the correct frequency, when you change that mode in WSJTX, and might be something to listen to.